Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Lucas and we're here today to finally do the full review of the Doberman 5-inch from Detroit Multirotor. So it's been a while since I've done the build videos for the Detroit Multirotor Doberman, and I haven't come out with the tuning guide and all that other stuff because I ran into so many problems tuning this build and getting this thing to fly, and it was all because of Betaflight RC4 it seems. Everything seems to be working since I switched over to Betaflight RC5. But I've been flying it quite a bit. I've put it through its paces on some tracks. I'll show you guys some video of that stuff as well. So I wanted to give you guys a review of it, of how it's held up, how it feels to fly it and all that. And I also wanted to talk a bit about the camera, so the Micro Swift, and I wanted to talk a bit more about the rut runners, the other Hobby R5s that have been pretty nice to me. So anyway, let's start with the frame. The frame is awesome. I really like flying it. It's super light. It has a very different feel than most of my quads because most of my quads end up weighing about 500 to 600 grams. This guy here comes out at 450 some with the battery. So that's quite a bit lighter than what I'm used to. So I found that I'm actually even able to run a much more aggressive camera angle than I'm used to, because I usually run 45. And right now I'm running a much more aggressive camera angle. I'm not even sure what that is. But it feels fine. It feels just like 45. It's kind of odd because the quad's so light. If I run less than that, I'm kind of just hopping all over the place, and my throttle control kind of goes entirely out the window. So yeah, I'm really liking the frame. Everything is really well protected. I have had many crashes on like clipping gates and that sort of thing, and like I haven't broken a single antenna. Everything's super well protected back there. Like the way I put the antenna back here, it never gets hit. The camera's super well protected up here. Like nothing is really gonna hit it. So it's been holding up great. That said, I have seen a few broken Dobermans, and they all seem to break right around here on the arm, like right here where they meet. This seems to be where they're breaking. So as in any ultralight frame, you're giving up a little bit of physical integrity to have that weight savings. However, this frame is super stiff and it's super strong. You really got to hit something at some speed before you break something. But in a race situation, that's not that uncommon. So it's just something to keep in mind. It might break, but it's super fun to fly, so you're probably going to enjoy it all the way until it does break. Other than that, tuning it wasn't so bad once I finally got the RC4 or RC5 working properly. Tuning was no problem with it, and I actually do like running the battery in this configuration right here. I mean, when you're flying it, it really doesn't feel any different, but when you crash, it makes a huge amount of difference because it really literally stops your battery dead right there. Boom, boom, boom. It can't go anywhere, and I haven't had it go out any of the sides at all. So I might actually start switching some of my drones to running batteries this way if I can, because it seems like much more secure. And these Drone Matters straps right here are freaking amazing. I really recommend you get some of these because they can take a lot of abuse and literally nothing. Like this Kevlar is awesome. Good stuff for sure. Alright, so now that we covered the frame, building it was like no problem, as you guys saw, and it flies great. Let's talk a little bit about the camera. So the Micro Swift, the tiny little guy right there. So it's the lightest camera I've used, and I am loving the image. It's super good. It has nice vivid colors that I find are kind of missing on the HS1177, or at least with my settings. So the settings that this guy has are great. Light handling is excellent because it's a CCD. Now my gripe with it is the lens ring. So let's see if I can show you guys here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see or not. Let me cover that. No, come on. Okay, can you see that little gob of stuff? Yep, so I was, when the quad was having problems, it was vibrating so badly that the lens would come loose. And I tried to tighten it by hand, and I was just literally just trying to get it to tighten and stick there, and the lock ring broke. It just split. So I had to put a bunch of, I had to find the focus again and then put a bunch of epoxy on it to hold it in place. So that kind of sucks. And it's kind of difficult to get in there too. So the lens is kind of my gripe with this. I really wish they had kept the original lens, but I can see that there's a huge weight savings with using the smaller lens. Other than that, I haven't messed with the settings with it because I don't have the little dongle to mess with the settings on the Micro Swift, and I don't believe you need to because the color is great. It looks fantastic. And I haven't tried it in low light situations yet, only really in the middle of the day, so I can't really comment there. Finally, the R5 runners, I'm really loving these. I have these on 2 quads now, these motors. I just love how they, at least on the bi-blades, they accelerate very quickly. I feel like I can get I can get those punches out pretty good. It has a decent top end. It's not super huge, and it has a good bottom middle range. So I'm really happy with these, and the weight savings are great too. Very smooth motor so far. I haven't crashed them too much, so they are still very smooth. I can feel them, and they were easy to tune, which is fantastic. So guys, that pretty much covers it in terms of the review that I wanted to give you guys on the Doberman. I definitely recommend this frame if you're looking for an ultralight racer that has a lot of protection for your electronics. I mean, this thing is probably tougher than the Hyperlight for sure, the floss, but it's still, as always, you're going to give up a little bit of integrity, a little bit of strength when you lose weight. A few of the things that are coming up on the channel in the next little bit. I've been super busy with work and stuff like that, so I haven't had as much time to bring you guys as much content as I would like. But a few things that are coming up. I'm still doing that frame that I told you guys, the Taco RC, Shendron's clone or whatever it is. We're going to be doing that. So we'll be doing the build and review starting in the next few days, hopefully, if I can get some time to actually start it. And we have another frame being sent to me by a fella here in Canada who's making a little racer that I actually really like the look of. I'll put a picture of it right now so you guys can take a look of. And this is being made by a fella named Alex, and it is called the Apex. Now, you might see why I'm a little bit partial to that frame. Like, I kind of like the idea of having the little, it has a top plate to protect the electronics and it still has a pod to go on top, but his pod is a lot lighter and nicer than mine. I mean, as you can see, it's only 54 grams for the whole thing, so that's pretty awesome. And we're talking, that's weight that's pretty close to this guy right here in terms of frame, so that should be pretty interesting. I like to see that the market is moving towards this low weight craze, trying to really drop the weight of these racers, because it really does give you an advantage. Turning becomes so much easier when you're not fighting that inertia trying to push you away. So yeah, I'm liking the Hyperlight builds. I might continue doing some of these, though nothing beats these guys in terms of just sheer resilience and just being able to crash them over and over again. So maybe these will be my trainers and these will be my actual race day quads. I don't know. We'll have to see. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about the Doberman, and if you're considering getting one yourself, it helps inform your decision. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can drop me a comment down below on the line below this video, or you can come find me on fpvchat.slack.com. I'm always happy to answer your questions and help you guys out with any problems you may have. So guys, thanks again for watching. As always, I'll catch you next time.